All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about a choice you'll definitely face in AWS, Kinesis versus SQS. Now, this isn't just some minor technical detail. This is a fundamental architectural decision. Get it right, and your system can scale gracefully for years. But get it wrong, and, well, you're in for a world of pain.
So let's start with a really basic question. How do your applications actually talk to each other? I mean, really think about it. The way your services pass data and coordinate tasks. That's what determines everything, your performance, your reliability, and especially how easily you can scale when things get busy.
And the stakes here are incredibly high. There's this quote that just hits the nail on the head. Making the wrong call early on means you spend all your time building workarounds, fighting the very system you created. But when you get it right, it feels like you have the wind at your back.
To really get the difference between Kinesis and SQS, we need a simple but really powerful way to think about them. So here it is. Think of Kinesis as a continuous flowing river of data, and think of SQS as a personal, reliable mailbox for messages.
And this river versus mailbox idea, it isn't just some cute analogy. It is the absolute key to understanding their core design. One is built for observing a constant flow of data, and the other is built for the discrete, reliable delivery of individual items. They're just built differently from the ground up.
So let's start with the river. That's Amazon Kinesis. This service is all about streaming data. It's designed for those scenarios where you have a constant, high-volume flow of information coming in from thousands, maybe millions of sources, like IoT devices or click streams from your website. And the goal is to process it in real time, as it happens.
And now for the mailbox. SQS, or Simple Queue Service. Its entire purpose in life is to decouple your services. It basically acts as a buffer, a safe holding area for individual messages. One app drops off a message, and another app comes and picks it up whenever it's ready. It's simple, it's reliable, it's point-to-point communication.
So we've got the high-level concepts, right? River, mailbox. Got it. Now, let's really get into the nitty-gritty and break down the concrete differences. This is where the right choice for your project is going to become crystal clear.
Okay, check this out, because this table really gets to the DNA of each service. Kinesis is for streaming. You can have multiple, completely different applications all looking at the same data stream, and they don't interfere with each other. The data sticks around. SQS, on the other hand, is a queue. A worker grabs a message, does its job, and poof, that message is gone for good. One and done.
To really hammer this home, think of a Kinesis stream like a reel of film. The data is an ordered sequence of frames. And here's the cool part. Lots of people can watch it. One person can start from the beginning, another can jump to the middle, you can even rewind and rewatch a part of it. The film is still there. It's replayable.
SQS, though, is way more like a one-time use ticket for a carnival ride. A worker takes a ticket from the dispenser, that's the queue. Once they hand it to the ride operator, that ticket gets torn up. It can't be used again. Each message serves a single purpose for a single consumer.
Now let's talk about the operational side of things, because this is a big one. With Kinesis, you have a ton of control, but that means you have to manage it by provisioning things called shards to handle your capacity. SQS is kind of the easy button. It's fully managed and scales automatically without you lifting a finger. But that simplicity comes with trade-offs, like a smaller maximum message size.
And of course, we've got to talk about money. At lower volumes, SQS is almost always the cheaper option, no question. You pay per request, so if you're not sending much, you're not paying much. But, and this is a really interesting but, once you hit a truly massive scale, like terabytes of data a day, the pricing model for Kinesis can actually flip the script and become the more economical choice.
Okay, so we've got the theory, we've got the analogies, we've got the trade-offs. So how does all of this translate to the real world? When do you actually pick the river, and when do you pick the mailbox? Let's get practical.
You're going to want to use Kinesis anytime you're dealing with a continuous fire hose of data that you need to analyze right now. We're talking about things like live dashboards, tracking user behavior on your site, or collecting telemetry from millions of sensors, or just gathering all the logs from your entire server fleet. The key is that it's a stream of events that you often want to analyze in a few different ways at the same time.
And you'll reach for SQS when you need to reliably hand off a single piece of work from one part of your system to another. This is the absolute bread and butter of microservices. Use it to send a job like process this new profile picture or send a welcome email. It's also amazing for buffering requests during a traffic spike so you don't overwhelm your database.
You know, this all leads to a fantastic rule of thumb. And it's this. If you don't know which one you need, just start with SQS. Seriously, it's simpler, it's fully managed, and it's much harder to get wrong. And trust me, you will know when you've outgrown it. The moment you find yourself saying, I wish another app could see this same data, or, man, I need to replay events from last Tuesday, that's your cue. That's the universe telling you to go look at Kinesis.
All right, let's bring this all home. I want to leave you with a simple, repeatable framework you can use every single time you face this decision. Something that lets you confidently choose the right path for your project, every time.
Just ask yourself these 3 questions. 1. Analyze your data. Is it a high-volume stream? Is the order critical? Do you need to replay it? If yes, you're leaning Kinesis. 2. Define consumption. Will one worker process each thing once? That's SQS. Or do multiple apps need to see all the data? That's Kinesis. And 3. Assess your operations. Do you want simple and hands-off? Go with SQS. Do you want fine-grained control over throughput? That's Kinesis.
But here's the final twist. It's not always a competition. In fact, many of the most sophisticated architectures out there use both of them together. They're not just rivals, they can be incredible partners. You might use Kinesis for the massive high-volume data capture and then have a consumer process that stream and put specific actionable jobs onto an SQS queue. It's truly the best of both worlds.
And that brings us right back to our core idea. The next time you're designing a system, just ask yourself this one simple question. The answer will guide you to the right architecture, and I'll set you up for a system that can scale gracefully for years to come.